This conference will now be recorded.
So good morning, guys. So anyone has any questions, please let me know. Yesterday we were discussing about SSH. What is SSH?
Yeah,
SSH
Kumar,
is
this is
also
Ramarao. I have one question. Is there
yes,
any
sir.
overriding in permissions levels? Like when user is having certain permission and if he assign a group is having some permissions. Is there any override concept or whichever is
Yes,
highest?
always. Yes, sir. So it's a combination. Let us take an example. Group is having read-only permission, EC2 read-only permission. Individually, I have provided EC2 full permission. So when you are added into that group, you will get EC2 read-only permission plus EC2 full permissions. It's like that. Okay. For your example, let's take an example. It's not like overriding. It's a combination. For your example, you have S3 permissions in one group. You are added to the group. You'll get S3 permissions. Individually, you have AWS EC2 permission. So what will happen? You will get EC2 permission plus S3 permissions if you are added into that group.
It is a
Got
kind
it?
of superset.
Pardon me. It is a
Kind of a superset set.
yes, yes. It's basic,
It's
but
not
only
overriding. It's just
yeah, not overriding. But only thing you need to make sure if it is somewhere denied. Like for your example, I'll come up and say you have EC2 AS3 permissions, and somewhere I'm providing EC2 put permissions deny. Then deny will win. Okay.
yes, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And for your question, what is SSH? Where do you use SSH? SSH is basically it's a key generally used to log into Linux operating system. How do you log into Linux operating system? You are providing one key pair. What is that key pair? Basically, it's a SSH, means it's a protocol to communicate in Linux operating system. SSH. It is actually what is meant by SSH key. It is like a certificate only. Okay. And the port number of SSH is port number 22. Got it? Okay, guys. So let's go. Let's log into IAM. Today, I think we know multi-factor authentication you enable, user creation. Okay, we'll continue today. I'll go and provide some permissions. We'll talk about that permissions. And I already explained you permissions, S3 bucket policies. Very similar to that one, you have IAM policies. I'll show you. Very similar. That is the reason, as I said you have to be pro in IAM policies or S3 policies. Please practice it. Okay, so go to the IAM. Now let's go and discuss about what is this. Very important. Now I'm talking about, we'll discuss about permissions. We'll discuss about permissions. Very simple, sir. Very simple. What is the meaning of a, sir? I want to provide some, what is that? Permissions, right? What is this? Simple. Okay. AWS will use lot of very different synonyms, acronyms, but that's not a problem. Set of permissions is called as IAM policy. Tomorrow I want to go and provide, hey, Dikshit, I want to go and provide EC2 permission. That means what? I will provide some set of permissions in the form of IAM policy and I'll give it to you. Thanks, man. So that's basically, is it clear, right? So that is set of permissions is nothing but IAM policy, and very, 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 very important. So this is very important. So what is very important? Set of permission is equal to What are the set of permissions? Let's take an example. I want to provide to Dikshit. I want to go and provide like example. What is that? What is that? EC2 full permission, S3 put object. These are permissions. I create these. These are, what are those things? These are set of permissions. I can create in the form of, what is that? IAM policy. I create an IAM policy. First point, what I need to do? Set of permissions. I have to create an IAM policy. Take this IAM policy. I need to take this IAM policy. I need where I can apply. So this policy contains what permission, sir? S3 put object, EC2 full permissions. I can take this policy and I can, what is that? Attach. I can attach. Attach to what? Please write it down. We'll talk about it. What is that? I can attach to IAM principal. Sir, what is this IAM principal? IAM principal is IAM user. You remember yesterday IAM group, IAM role, AWS account. You can attach it. These are okay. And the fifth one, AWS services. So see, sir, what I am trying to do, I want to provide set of permissions to Dikshit. So what should I do first? I need to go and create a policy. Then I'll take that policy. I need to attach it to whom? I want to attach it to Dikshit. Who is Dikshit? So this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is called as, what is that? IAM principal. You remember in S3 bucket policy, principal is equal to star. What is principal? Principal is equal to star means what? Tell me. Now tell me. All? Tell me properly. Principal is equal to star means what?
User and group and role account.
All users, group, roles, account, and services. Is it clear, right? Principal is equal to star. Whenever you mention, that means all users, all groups, all roles, all accounts, all services. That is principal. So Dikshit is a user, so it comes under principal. Is it clear, right? I can go and provide ARN name of Dikshit, then he will get a permission. Hope you understood this diagram. Anyone has any questions? So AWS has nearly 700 policies they automatically create. You remember AWS AMI? Who creates AMI? Ready-madely AWS has AMIs, right? Windows, Linux, CentOS. Like this one, AWS will also have a ready-made policies. Sir, I don't want to use ready-made policy. Then you can create your own policy. We'll talk about 3 types of policies you have. But you have IAM policy. IAM policy is nothing but set of permissions. Take that set of permissions and attach to a user, group, role, account, or services. So pretty straightforward. So let's log in. As I said you, what is the syntax of, you go back here and you will see, what is this one, sir? What is this one? Policy. What is the meaning of a policy?
A set of permissions.
Yeah, so you go and click on this one. You go and click on policies. Then you get lot of policies. Like how many policies are there? If you see, right, how many are there? In some of the thing, 100 policies are created by me, but at least 1000 policy. Dikshit want to come up and say, I want to see a policy on EC2 instance read only. So you just type EC2 read and enter it. You will see some policies. Sir, how do I know which are AWS policy, which are my policies? You will see the difference somewhere. What is this one? AWS policy, and you will see the icon. What is this one? AWS has created this one. So what is this one? AWS, if Amazon EC2 instance read only. Sir, this policy I can attach it. Okay. How this policy looks? The things which I explained, very, very important. You go and click on open. Now this is the JSON format. Control A, Control C. S3 bucket policy I explained you. Do you remember? Exactly. What is AWS EC2 read only means? You remember? It starts with what is that? Version, statement, statement effect, allow the permission. What permission? EC2 contains, in AWS EC2, what are the topics you have? You can create EC2, you can create auto scaling, you can create load balancer, yes or no? So see here, if you want to provide read only, effect is equal to allow, action is equal to EC2 colon describe star, describe snapshots, describe volumes, describe EC2 instance, describe key pairs, describe security group. Instead of writing everything, I am writing what is that? Describe star. What are those things? Resources. Resources is equal to all the resources in your EC2 instance. EC2 instance, I am able to see the list. What about, what is this one? Load balancer. Load balancer, what is that? Describe. Give me the list of load balancer. What is this one? Give me the information of CloudWatch, which I did not explain you. CloudWatch will explain you when time comes. And the next one, last one is what is that? Describe auto scaling. Let us take an example. See here, sir, how beautifully I can go and provide a permission to, okay, Dikshit. What I want, I don't want Dikshit to go and get all the load balancer details. Dikshit should only work on EC2 instance, no load balancer, no auto scaling. What should I do? Why should I deny it? Simple, sir. Remove this one. Now, what is the permission you will get? Only describe star. Is it clear, right? You are the owner. You are the owner. First, let me attach this policy. For your example, what? How do you do? How should I attach this one to? So go back to the user. What is the user? Dikshit. Click on add. Now you click on add. There is something called as permission. Okay. Add permissions. Add permissions. Okay. You want to add the permission. Add user to the group if you want. Copy the permission from existing users. The Aditya is there. Aditya is already there. Whatever Aditya is having a permissions, I should provide you. Then I can simply copy the permissions from Aditya to Dikshit. I can do this one. Most of the people don't use this one. Most of the people use this one. What is this one? Directly attach the product. Click on it. What is the policy name I want to attach it? It's not one policy. You can attach multiple policy. Right now I can go and provide EC2. Okay, read. Now you go and click on EC2 read AWS one. You can select this one and then click on next. Then click on attach. So what is happening now? Dikshit is attached with EC2 read only permissions. So see here, sir. Let's log in. What is the password? Kelly123, right? 4. See, you go and click on it. Only Dikshit can get a read only permissions. He cannot create it. He cannot update it. He cannot do anything. What I will do, I'll create our own permission also. I will go and give one own permission also. Okay, account ID is array. What is that? Multi-factor authentication. Did I delete it? Let's see. Zero 81505. Let's see. This is the beauty of multi-factor authentication. Now Dikshit has not having any permission except EC2. So you go and click on it. He clicks on EC2. Everything he will get it. See, he can see it, but can he create it? No, he cannot create. See, all the EC2 instance, load balancer, everything is available. I'll want to launch a new EC2 instance. Let's go and launch a new EC2 instance. Just provide something. Just something dummy. Can I launch it? Let's see. Provide a key pair. Just provide a key pair. Launch it. What will happen? Clear? Is it clear, guys? It's clearly saying authentication. What is that? Failed. He cannot because success. It's not basically. Now see here. I can see now if you go back and see load balancer. Let's take an example. I go and click on load balancer. There is no load balancer available, but it is going here, right? As an example, or auto scaling. Auto scaling. Even auto scaling is also not there. I deleted everything. But if you see here, right, I can make and I can break it also. So this is the policy. I have it. Now Control A, I can create my own policy. I can create my own policy. Let us take an example. I can go into the policies. I can create my own policy. Create a policy. JSON format. Control A, Controls V, policies created. So click on next. So ayo. Is it comma? No, no. Okay. Okay. Click on next. Click on next. What is the policy name? Dikshit EC2 only. See what is that? It is having only what is that? List EC2 instance, nothing else. Create a policy. Policy got created. Dikshit policy. Now I will attach that policy is created. Go back to the individual user, Dikshit user. Now go back to the permissions. Okay, add permissions, attach the policy. What is the policy name? Select this one. See, excuse me. So if you go back and see, you can attach two policies, and this is not AWS policy. Who created? I created custom managed policy. I can remove this one. Select it, remove it. Okay, if you see only this permission is there. Now you can go back here. I'll go and click on load balancer. So in generally, what will happen? Now you don't have any permissions. See, what is this? Dikshit is not authorized to perform elastic load balancer. What is that? Describe, because no identity based policy allow. I am the owner of this policy. Whatever policies I want, I can attach it, I can detach it. It is my own level of providing a policies. Is it clear? Anyone has any questions? Anyone has any questions? Fine. Is it clear? So I can attach it, my policies, multiple policies. You can create your own policies. Any questions? Online people, is it clear, sir? Is it clear? Anyone has any questions? Is it clear?
Good, sir. Yes.
Any more questions? Anyone?
Very good, sir.
Okay. So user now. So you have a policy. See if you see the diagram, right, sir? What is the diagram? I have created a Dikshit policy, right? I can create a Dikshit policy. I can attach this Dikshit policy to whom? Principal. Principal means what? User or group.
Group.
You remember yesterday we are talking about a group. Similarly, I can create a group. See, I created, what is this one? EC2 instance group. You create a group, but what is this group having a permission? Simply go into this one. What is this one? Permissions. See here, I have attached EC2 read only permissions. EC2 only means, let's take an example, remove these permissions, and then what you can do for your example, you can add a policy and you can say, what is that?
Dikshit.
Dikshit, EC2 complete EC2 road only, add it. That's it. Now what is happening? This group is having what permission? EC2 permission. There is no need to go and basically for Dikshit I have to provide permission for him and everything. I'll go and add Dikshit into this group. So what he will get? This group is having what permission? Dikshit only permissions having. So you go and add your all the users will get the required access. Creating a user, creating a group, okay, creating an IAM policy. Is it clear? Custom policy I can create it. So there are three types of policies we have it. Please write it down. Important. So when you talk about IAM policies, which we have already gone through. So IAM policies. When you talk about IAM policy, there are three types of policy which we have already written. AWS managed policy. Can I create my own policy? That is called as customer policy, which I created. You remember what is the policy I created? Dikshit policy I created. And what is this policy? AWS is having EC2 read only permission. Already there is, okay, access. One policy is already there. Yes or no? Now you have another one. Write it down. Inline policy. Okay, you have something called as inline policy. What is the meaning of an inline policy? The syntax of the JSON what you write for AWS policy is copy and paste for AWS managed policy, customer policy and inline policy. Same policy, sir. The only difference between inline policy and customer policy, very simple, sir. Very simple. What is that one? What is managed policy? I am explaining you what is managed policy. What is managed policy? What is an example of a managed policy? Pretty simple, sir. What is managed policy? I'm writing about AWS managed policies. What is AWS managed policies? Pretty straightforward. See, yeah, I'll create a policy. So AWS has created one policy. Yes or no? Example of a policy is EC2 read only policy. Who created this policy, sir? AWS created a policy. You have taken this policy and you have attached to where? Principal. So you have attached to a user. You have attached to a group. Yes or no? Example user is Dikshit user. Example of a group is admin group. Yes or no? Yes, you have created AWS is having a policy. You take that policy and attach to the user Dikshit. What is the permission Dikshit gets now? Okay, EC2 read only permissions. Yes. Now use your mind and tell me what will happen if I delete this user. What will happen to the policy?
It will
If
revoke
I
all the
delete the
accesses.
user, what will happen to the policy?
It will revoke all the accesses
Accesses to whom?
to subset to user.
Which user?
Wait.
I deleted a user. What is the user I deleted? Dikshit user I deleted. Yes. The policy is attached to Dikshit user, sir. I deleted Dikshit user. What will happen to the policy?
Policy will remain.
Policy will remain. Policy is attached to the user. Policy will remain. What is there? What will happen if you go and delete the user? What will happen to the policy? That policy is created by whom? AWS, that policy you are attaching. So what is the diagram? Very, very, very important. Keep it in your mind. See, you have a policy. Policy is attached to a principal. That means user group IAM role. If the user or a group is deleted, what will happen to the policy? Nothing will happen. This is called as AWS managed policy. Is it clear? This is called as AWS managed policy. I know this policy. What is great in this one? Now I'll explain you very important one. Keep it in your mind. Now the data will become ulta. I am explaining you AWS, okay, inline policy. I'm explaining you what is that? AWS inline policy. Sir, what is meant by inline? Inline means, what is that? Inside principle. So I did not get you, sir. What is the meaning of this one? Now the hierarchy is that one. In AWS managed policy, what is that? You will create a policy and this policy is attached to the principal, that is user. If you delete this user, nothing will happen to this policy. Now what do you do? First you will go and create a principal, like what is that? First you will go and create user. Inside the user, you will create policy. Example, what is that? So policy is created inside that user. Now tell me, what will happen if I delete this user? Policy is also deleted. That is inline policy. Is it clear? The hierarchy is ulta. Inline means inside principal. Like if you want to create a group, you will attach the policy. You will create a policy inside that group. That is inline policy. What is an advantage of inline policy? And see what is that one. So I'll tell you, when I joined in Microsoft in 2014 and 15, I think 15 or 16, I don't remember. 15, sorry, this event happened in 15. Yeah, 15, 16, 15th. So I think I'll tell you what happens. Okay, I'll tell you a very strange experience in my life. So I was working, I joined, I think 4 months Microsoft. I was 4 months old. So Monday is the date. I do remember. And I think it's on September. So Monday sprint meeting is happening. Sprint meeting means in this 2 weeks of time, what are the works you will do? Manager will plan and everything will happen like that one. So generally my manager is there and everyone are sitting here, another manager, another manager, another manager, like that one. Meetings is happening. Suddenly director came into picture and say, hello everyone, please attention here. So they said like, what is that attention? He said like, stop all your work for next 1 month. All the managers, please follow me. I'll tell you something. Please, it's urgent. And he went off. We don't know what is happening. So what is the problem? I'll tell you. There is one application called as EPAM application in Microsoft. What is that application? That application will have the information of which customer has bought the license for what cost. Like Tata company, what is Windows 2012 cost we have provided. If Tata is a very close friend, right? Instead of $300, I will sell it for $250, right? That software is EPAM application, which is Microsoft application, which has the information of all the licenses. It has the information of all the licenses of all the products. And that application is developed by Infosys team. But what happened, sir? By mistakenly, see what happens. There was one very small customer. So that application is developed, everything is working. Then at the end of the day, what happened? That small customer, what he is able to do, one customer, he has logging into that EPAM application. By mistakenly, the application is developed in such a way that one customer can see another customer data. And this one, only one customer knows it, not all the customers. Only one customer knows. He said like, you sold one license for me for $300. For my competitor, you sold it for $280. What is this? This is wrong. and it is impossible to see other data, but the application is designed in a wrong way where one customer can see another customer data, only one that only that customer know about it. Do you know what happened? That customer told, I will go to media and tell to media. What will happen if he goes and tell to media? Our Microsoft stock will reduce. Compliance problem. So do you know what we have done? Daily we provided $1 million for him to keep his mouth shut. Daily we have provided 8.5 crores. Daily he says, I'm going to press, take 1 million. And what we are doing, 200 people are working on a daily basis in that application to fix it. So it took 20 days to fix the problem. He got $20 million. In his entire life, he will never get it. He fixed it. Now then we come up and say we fixed it. Now then you click on it. It's not showing all the data. Is it clear, right? What is the most dangerous thing? One customer data is able to seen by another customer. The same problem can happen with this policy also. So I'll tell you why I explain you about this way. So let us take an example. Let us take an example. There is something called as, what is that one? What is that one, sir? Tata policy. I take this Tata policy and I attach to, what is that? What is that? Tata group. Now Tata people are getting some permissions. Somehow I realize Tata company is not my customer. I delete this group. By mistakenly this policy is there. By mistakenly I take this policy and attach to, what is that? Wipro group. What will happen? Wipro people can see Tata's data. This is very dangerous, right? That is the reason you have a concept called as inline policy. Sir, what is inline policy? First you will go and create, what is that? Tata group. Inside this Tata group, you will attach, what is that? Tata policy. It is inside that one. Tomorrow you delete this group, what will happen? Is it clear, right? More secure inline policy. Syntax of JSON and everything is same to same. See here, sir. Let us take an example. I'll go to user. Now you see where is that user is there. Now you go, user is there. Yeah, very good, sir. What is this one? Add permission. You can click on it. What is this? Add inline policy. You click on inline policy. It will ask you, sir, inline policy, generate the inline policy. I can copy, control C, same policy inside that user. You go and click on it, click on next, click on next. What is the policy name? Inline Dikshit. And you go and click on create a policy. See, the policy gets created, but it is inside the user. See here, sir. What is this policy? What is this? What is this? What is this? Inline policy. I delete Dikshit user. What will happen to the policy? Gets deleted. That is the difference between managed policy, custom policy, and inline policy. Same with a group. As I said, you inline policy is created inside principal. What is principal? User group. So you go into the use group. Let's take an example. This is a group. You can simply go back, click on permissions. Then you can go and click on, what is this? What is that? Inline policy. Is it clear? The syntax of the JSON format is same to same. Hope you understood what is meant by a policy, what is inline policy, what is managed policy, what is custom policy, what is a user, what is a group, how do you provide a permissions, how do you log in, what is a child user, what is a master user. Any questions? Is it clear, sir? Is it clear? Anyone has any questions? Is it clear?
Yeah, if we create any user or any service, is there any default policies assigned to
No,
that particular?
nothing. Until you provide it, what you will get it.
Okay. But no, from AWS side, any default.
Like if you are logging as a root account, you have by default an admin, sir. What is there? You're creating as a user, you don't have any permissions. You need to exclusively copy the permission from existing user or add it to the group or create a policy and or attach it.
Okay.
Is it clear, guys? Anyone has any questions? This is IAM role. See, IAM, sorry, user, IAM group, IAM policy. Is it clear? Anyone has any questions before I jump into IAM role? Very, very important topic. So very, 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 very important topic. IAM role. Let me have some water. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Okay. Any questions here? So let us go through IAM role. Very important. If you don't know IAM role, no chance of getting a job. First of all, if you don't know IAM itself normally, no chance of getting a job. Now you come up and say, sir, I know IAM user, IAM group, I know. Still you will not get a job if you don't know IAM role. One of the most important thing, today AWS is #1 in the world because of primary 3 reasons: EC2, S3 and IAM role. I was there. There were so many times customer gave blue and black to me. I am an AWS developer, very good. I joined Microsoft till 2017, 2018, 2017, 18. Customer used to bang Azure like anything. They used to hate. So people used to like Azure used to provide cheaper cost. Let's take an example. Customer will come from AWS. They will want to go to Azure, and there are some features which are not there. They used to give a lot of dirty words to us. What is this? Fuck, man, what is this happening? One of the primary reason, Azure was not having IAM role. Now they are having 2019, they have added IAM role. They copied it. IAM role is a primary reason why AWS has. I was working in a company called as Infer from 2009, 2010. 2010 I started working on AWS. From 2010 I am telling you, right? 2010 onwards, the primary reason why we chosen AWS versus Azure was because of IAM role. Very powerful. So let's understand what is IAM role. Sir, it's very simple to understand what is IAM role. Very simple, sir. Very, very simple. What is IAM role? Nothing. So I'll tell you. I'll take an example. Hey guys, are you able to hear me? Hello? Online people, are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes, we are able.
Okay. What is meant by IAM role? Very, very simple. One AWS service wants to communicate to another AWS service. So if both the people wants to talk to each other, you will attach what is that role. Let's talk about it. Sir, can you tell me an example? EC2 instance wants to download the files from S3. Take an example. Go through the previous videos, previous classes, and tell me what did I do to download a file from S3 to EC2 instance. What did I do? What are the ways? Anyone can remember? What are the ways? What are the ways? I have a file in S3. I want to download into EC2 instance. What did I use? That's what shows the practice, sir. Yes, sir.
In
How did I
user data,
download a file? What is that?
in user data, used to.
Sir. User data, basically, okay, I do agree. User data. I'm not talking about a user data. Normally, I'm asking you, you are logging to the EC2 instance. Just go and log into EC2 instance, and you want to download a file. So what do? Tell me. Normal.
EFS, EFS,
No, sir, not EFS, sir.
sorry,
No. Check it out. I have done that one. I showed you. Okay. If, as I mentioned you, customer will be, so for your download and everything, that see, people are talking about a user data. In user data, I provided S3 link. That is fine. That is for public. When you provide a URL, right, that is for everyone in the world. Now tell me, only EC2 instance has to download the file from S3. What do you do generally? I already provided you the answer. That is also day before yesterday. I can download the file with AWS CLI. Command line interface. AWS space S3 space copy. You copy it, the file will copy. Remember AWS CLI. What is the
Yes.
purpose of CLI? It's not for joke. CLI is for what? Interacting with AWS only. What are the ways of interact with AWS? Management console and CLI. If I want to download a file, I'll use a command AWS space S3 space copy space. Where is my S3 location? And where is my location? You enter it, the file from basically EC2 instance. If you have permission, it will download. Yes or no? Yes or no, online people?
Yes. Yes.
So now you tell me, now you answer it. Now you tell me if you say yes or no. Don't give me blind answers. There is an EC2 instance. You want to download the file from what is that? S3. You're writing a command. Now tell me, what else you require here to download the file from S3? What else you require? Get object permissions. Okay. Next. Nah? Internet is by default there, sir. Next. EC2 full permission. Why do you require EC2 full permission, sir? You log into EC2 instance, you don't require anything from EC2 instance. You want S3. Use your mind and tell me, go back to 2 days and tell me what do you require to download the file from S3. What are the things which are required when you write a command? What do you require? How did I download a file from EC2 instance to S3? You run the command, what will happen? You run this command, what will happen?
Yes. Access keys and security. Yeah.
Without this, how can you do, sir? You said you want to provide a permission. That is fine. Okay, very good. Then what do you provide in EC2 instance to go and connect to S3? You need to provide access key and a secret key. Then only EC2 instance is having a permission to connect to S3. Please practice it, sir. It is waste of coming into the class without practice. The most important things. So what do you require? Sir, if EC2 instance wants to talk to S3, you need access key and a secret key. Yes or no? Now, what is the danger of access key and secret key?
He will have complete access of that instance.
Nah, is the danger? Come on, sir. Then
No,
what are you writing, sir, when I am explaining?
next day when someone joins, he will get complete accesses because it will
No.
store that access key and
So anyone can locate the .aws folder and they can open it and they can get access key and the secret keys, which is very dangerous. You remember, so when I go and provided an access key and secret key, if this laptop is there, I am not there, Dikshit will slowly come into picture and say, I will now somehow will go and hack the sir's data. He'll come here, he'll go into users, basically welcome and aws folder. He will open this file, he'll get access key and secret key, which is very, very, very dangerous. Sir, then why can't you hide the access key and secret key? You can't, because to run the AWS CLI, you need at any cost, what is that? Access key and a secret key is required at any cost. Welcome to, what is that? One AWS service wants to communicate to another AWS service without access key and secret key. That is called as, not only between EC2 and S3. One AWS service wants to talk to another AWS service, you need a role. There were so many times IAM role came into picture. I did not explain you that one. I just wanted to skip because today or tomorrow is the time to explain it about it. What is IAM role? Can anyone tell me what is IAM role? What is IAM role?
To access any services between
One
any
AWS wants to talk to another AWS service. So if one AWS service wants to talk to another AWS service, how do you provide a permission, man? How EC2 instance will directly have a permission to EFS? It won't be like this one. So what you need to attach? IAM role. When you attach it, it will get a permission. So what do you do? Very, very important. Can you tell me what is the meaning of a policy? And policy can be attached to whom? Principal means what? User group. IAM role also. So what do you do, sir? Sir, this is EC2 instance. Now EC2 instance has to seamlessly has to connect to S3. What do you do? Step number 1, you will go create example. What is that? Like for your example, S3 put object permissions, or I want to download the file, right? So get object. I'll create a policy. Second point, I'll create, what is that? I'll create IAM role. Third point, what I will do? Attach. What I'll attach? Policy to role. Fourth point, take this role and attach to, that's it. EC2 instance will get some permissions towards, what is that? S3. Please write it down, important. Step number 1, create a policy. What do you want to do in the EC2? From EC2 instance, if you want to upload the files, you need to go and provide S3 put object. If you want to download the file, S3 get object. If you want full access, go and provide S3 star. That means full access. Create a policy, create a role, attach the policy to that particular role, take that role and attach to EC2 instance. EC2 instance will get the permissions, and it is common across everything. Wherever the IAM policy will come, IAM role will come. There are so many places. IAM role came into picture in VPC, in EC2, in auto scaling, in load balancer, in S3, in cloud trial, in EFS. So many places it came, sir. I just did not explain you. What is the reason? Let us explain now. Is it clear? Anyone has any questions? How is your Linux training is going on? Did they share the videos? Please ask them. Take it Linux seriously. I want any cost within 20 days. You have to be an expert in Linux operating system. If no one is providing any material, go back to my kumarawsbit.com. There is a Linux folder. Open Linux books. There are some Linux basic commands. At least 90 commands I pasted it. Be an expert in this one. And that is not sufficient actually to crack a job. You need more, and there are books which I pasted it. I don't know what do you do. You need to be pro, not normal, pro. Is it clear? So is it clear? Shall we do some practical examples or any questions anyone has? What is meant by IAM policy? Let us do, maybe I'll do a practical tomorrow, but I'll create everything and keep it ready for you. Let us create a policy. I have existing policy, right? S3 put just read only, whatever you want. I have an existing policy. Let me go and create a role. So I'll go and create a role. I'll create a role. Select a role. Select AWS services. Pretty simple. Example selected, common use cases, EC2 instance. Simple, click on next, nothing you need to do. It will appear, or it is asking you, see, it is asking directly the third point. What's the third point? Attach a policy to the role. It is asking, do you want to attach any policy to the role? I want to attach S3. What is this? I want to attach this one. Click on next. What is the role name? Dikshit EC2 to S3 role. Okay, I don't do anything. What is the permission? S3 read-only permissions. Create a role. Simple. What is the role got created? So what are the things which are completed? This one is already there. I created role. I attach role to the policy. What should I do next? Attach role to the EC2 instance. How do I attach? It clearly showed in EC2 instance. Again, I did not explain you at that period of time. If you go back and see, so the Dikshit EC2 to S3 role is created. See, his role is created. What do? You go to that EC2 instance. You go to that EC2 instance. Now let us go and create one EC2 instance. I will not create it today because I have only 8 minutes. Let's explain it neatly for 20 minutes tomorrow. So let us take an example. I want to launch a new system. You remember we want to launch a new system? Yes or no? Now you see. So you see here, I can select an AMI, I can select instance type, I can select a key pair, I can select a subnet, I can do everything, including you come here. What is this? Attach to the EC2 instance. Do you want to attach any IAM role? So you go back and click on it. So just go and click on it. And what is the role name? Is it clear? And when I launch, what happens? My EC2 instance is attached with this particular role. This particular role is having what permissions? S3. From EC2 instance directly you can communicate to S3, no access key and no secret key. Let us do that practically tomorrow. Is it clear, sir? Now you are eliminating the risk of what is that? Is it clear? Access key and a secret key danger is there. Dropbox company development environment was completely deleted because Dropbox company developer by mistake wants to help one customer. He used access key, secret key, written a program, forgot that access key and secret key and paste it in internet. Someone taken that access key and secret key, written a program, delete star from delete star, it went and deleted everything. It's very dangerous. Now you don't have a concept called as what is that? Access key and secret key. It is replaced with. There are so many places it came. I will go through one by one. We have 5 minutes of time. I will explain you. Now let us take an example. What is this one, sir? Can anyone tell me? I'll only explain theoretically. Let's go practically tomorrow. What is this? What is this? Tell me. What is cloud trial? Cloud trials basically is an AWS service which will store your AWS account activity logs. Where it will store? So cloud trial is there and you people will be logging into your AWS account. Let's take an example. This is your AWS account. Dikshit is logging. He is creating EC2 instance. Dikshit is logging. He is deleting. So what is happening? All these things are noticed by cloud trial, and cloud trial will move the data to where? This log to S3. Now cloud trial is getting, how it is getting a permission to move it into S3? What is coming in between? IAM role. No one observed it. I did not explain you. The reason is I was waiting for it. So you go back many times, not only this one. There are so many places it came. In S3 it came. I'll tell you. You go into cloud trial. Be careful. This is your interview question. Anytime people will come up and say how cloud trial is moving to data S3. Keep it in your mind. What is that? Role. You remember, right? See, let's take an example. You can create a trial. Can I create a trial? I can come up and say, hey, I want to create a trial. I want to make sure, create a new bucket, log everything. See here, I want basically, let's take an example. I want to log in this bucket. Okay, now what is this one? Do you want to store the data in, where is that? CloudWatch. See here. So what is this one? Not only in S3, I want to move the data into CloudWatch. How we are getting a permissions? For that one, you need to go and provide, see, cloud trial, enable. So what is that it is asking you? It is asking, boss, you should have some permissions, so that you just provided. So whatever the CloudWatch name, go and provide that permissions. Now cloud trial will use this role to move the files into CloudWatch. Everywhere it came. In S3 also it came. I don't want to show, because let's clearly explain it. Do it practically and I show you what is IAM role. Is it clear, guys? Anyone has any questions? Is it clear? What is meant by IAM role? Okay, so that is fine.
Yeah.
I will sign off right now. Let us see tomorrow. The reason I'm signing right off it, in 2 minutes I cannot go and show you anything practically. I want to do the next 15 minutes of time tomorrow, full-fledged IAM practical. I'll create one EC2 instance, attach the IAM role, then we will connect to S3 seamlessly, no access key, secret key. I'll show you how it will work for you. Is it clear? Okay, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye.